Hope you're having a great day, great time. If not, let's learn to make it great. Let's work on that. Make things happen instead of sitting there. Woe is me. People get tired of your woe is me too. Sometimes you overdo it, right? And people go, okay, let's back off. Have you noticed maybe your friends are backing off from you? Because they're not seeing any movement. They're afraid sometimes you're going to ask them for money or ask them to do something that they money they don't have sometimes, and they don't want to come out and tell you, well, we really don't have it like that, or we really don't have it. And some of them, they're just tired. It's like, could you do something for yourself? Can you think for yourself? Families get into it about that. And you can think for yourself. You're free to change your mind. You're free to choose a different path. You're free to fix your past. You're free. A lot of people, their eyes are the guiding force only. Their brain doesn't guide them, it's their eyes. That's where most of the prejudice comes in. It's their eyes seeing color. What race do you think of when I say yellow? How about red? How about black? How about white? Each race has a color to it. And it automatically comes to mind because that's your eyes. It's not your brain, because if it got beyond your eyes to your brain, where you're thinking and you're studying those people and you understand those people and you have those types of people as friends in your life, then you understand. Then you know. Then you find out who you are and who they are. You learn to fly. I was rereading one of my mom's old books. Told you my mom went to school twice in the 7th grade. Not because she couldn't. It's because they didn't have another. They had another school, but it was miles away. And her mother was afraid. They had gotten burned out from their home and had to move to another state, and they didn't want those kids and everybody else not to move out of that little community because of what had happened. Her grandfather taught school, and so she just went on anyway. She had already went earlier. She went when she was 2 years old because her cousin didn't want to go to school. So she started kindergarten at 2 years old. So she was already way ahead anyway. But she wanted to go to school so bad, she just did it again. Okay, so in the end, she probably would have been 10th or 11th grade, but no more school. And when she eventually decided to come up here, her family, you know, your family may be the same way. They rummaged through her luggage. She still talked about, they took her book. She remembered she had books, you know, Rebecca Sunnybrook Farm. And I'd bought that for her for Christmas one year. And she was so happy. You know, just one little thing, the memory of that book and books she reread. But one book that I remember we used to get, if maybe you didn't, but Scholastic magazine in school, and they had where you could order books in the back. And I did that with my students before. And every time it would come out, I would practically order the whole page. I would save up what little I had. I would find coins and stuff and hand it to my parents. And they'd be going, where'd you find this? On the ground. In hopes they would buy me those books, not knowing they were going to buy them anyway. They were already prepared. A book was a book, okay? Better than look at the TV. Read the book, okay? So, but I mean, I practically ordered a whole set of books, and then I had to, I would tell them, my books are coming in today so that somebody could pick me up, because I actually had too many books to try to walk home with. Okay, couldn't carry them. And I would sit and read. Well, my mom had a book. I don't know if you've ever read it. Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. If you get a chance, read it. They got a addition parts to it. I've read the whole thing. My mom has too. But this first book, when it came out, she had kept it for years, and I read it when I was younger. And she had it. It was all raggedy. She'd been reading it. But it's about a seagull, an animal. It was a sleeper book. People didn't think much of it. It's about an animal, a seagull. Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Must be a kid's book. Blah, 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 blah. That type of thing. It blossomed out. It was a sleeper book. It's a DVD now. Now, the DVD, of course, is not probably as deep. I haven't looked at it because I've always been into the book. Underlined in the book the sayings of a seagull talking. Okay? This seagull was a great thinker, unlike the other seagulls. You get that one in there that's like, okay, I'm not dealing with this. He was fussing because they didn't have enough food. They were trying to survive. Okay? His flock didn't have any purpose or meaning to life. All they wanted was food and survive. Food, we don't have enough food. Nobody's trying to get any more food, but we're going to complain, right? I'm just giving you a synopsis because I'm not saying the whole thing. But what struck me was one of my neighbors, when I was walking, he was sitting on a porch. And I said, "How are you doing?" And he says, "Oh, bored." And so he had been a handyman. He had worked for the state, but his father had taught him to remodel a bathroom, remodel the basement. I mean, he can do all this stuff. He can fix your garbage disposal. He can put roofing on, siding on, and he had worked on my house several times. Very cheaply, he removed the tree for me. And I asked him, "How much you want?" "Oh, just give me $100. I mean, I gave him more than that because I knew it cost like $300-400 at that time to remove a tree and the stump and haul it away. Okay, so he's did a lot for me. And he said, and I said, "You're bored, and he says, "Oh, nothing to do." And this is what I say about older people. Look at all the knowledge and the wealth. And he has friends, but see, they're working or they may have passed on. But he still could probably do something. But everybody's left. Now nobody needs him, I guess, or they don't know him. And he has not found a path to survive. But the seagull did. He ignored everybody. He started flying. That was his goal. I told you, a simple goal. He already knew how to fly. You start with a little goal that you already can do, and you blossom out. He wanted to fly faster and faster, and they made fun of him. He wanted to learn how his body could get stronger. His flock was like, "No, stop talking about it. We don't care." Just like your finances, you're talking to your family, and they're going, "Who cares? Da-da-dee, whoop-a-boo, we're going to stay right here." And they considered him an outcast. Some did, and then the silent one said, "Oh, he's the Messiah." And then the other ones, "He's the devil," right? He's different. And he wasn't sad because they didn't conform to him. He's trying to show them a different way. Look, we can go out and find food elsewhere. Let's go, and they're going, "Nope, not doing that. Don't want to do that. We got certain people we want to follow, and that's it." They know what to do. You don't know what you're doing, right? And he felt sorry for him. He was sad because he did eventually move on out and learn the glories of flying, right? The great glory of flying high, flying low, swooping in there. But he was sad Not because you're lonely, because others wouldn't join him. He was out there by himself. Okay? But two seagulls came to take him home. And they told him, you're going to teach others how to fly like that. You're going to have a school. Okay? But learn to take stuff step by step. Don't do it too clearly. He wasn't limited by his eyes like that group was. He was not going to be limited. He was going to use his brain to get beyond. Maybe one person has a great step, one seagull, right? But he can get better. I can do more than that. I can get going. I can do what I have to do. You have to look beyond whatever. Sometimes you have to look beyond other people. Some of those seagulls were probably his family, calling him names. Or you better get back here, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Come on back. We don't do that with our family. We're going to work together and nothing happens, right? And then he's got probably some of his friends calling him the devil. And another friend, no, he's the Messiah. He's all right. We need to listen. But they're too scared to speak up. But some of them do listen. And they move on out the group. Just like we do with whatever we have to do. We do listen. Some of us have went different ways. But we got to listen. And then some will never listen. They're going to be back there. They're going to continuously do the same thing they've been doing. And they're going to still be complaining. And yes, we may stumble. We may fall. But Donnie McClurkin says, we get up. We got to get up. We can't lay there and just keep going. Okay? We can't lay there. Everybody loves a good tragedy, right? Everybody loves to listen to a good drama. But how long is that drama good for you? Everybody loves a story on TV, a sitcom series. But those series, they may last 10 to 15 years, some of them the longest, but the writers run out of storylines. And if you don't work on what you need to do, you're going to run out of your storyline. If you don't keep going, your storyline's going to end. You're going to be in the same place you were when you started a journey. Any journey. Because your storyline's going to end. You can't see beyond your eyes. You can't see what's around you. When you're walking, do you look around or do you look straight ahead? Do you see what's around you? Have you ever looked at the grass really close? What's there besides the grass? Yes, from your eyes, you see dirt, green grass. We're done. What are you stepping on? Is it a weed? What kind of weed is it? Is there a hole there? Is there a mole hole there? What's going on? This is how people miss things even on their houses and things. They go, I didn't know that was there, because they don't look. They only see their house as this house. And you didn't check around the house enough, and then all of a sudden there's some problems issuing. When did that get there? I didn't know that was there. Or you don't look at your car. A rust spot comes, and that's been getting bigger and bigger, and all of a sudden one day, beyond your eyes spot, because see, you've been doing everything else and not focusing, and you go, there's a rust spot. And you don't think about it. How long has that rust spot been there that you could have probably taken care of earlier and it's growing? How long has that tire started going down? It may have took a while. You seen it, if you really looked at it, it was flattening out just a little bit and just kept on going. We see with our eyes, but our mind is not focusing. And you can't blame that on everybody else. You have to blame that on not training your mind that I am looking. I'm looking. That's how people get surprised with people lurking around and all this stuff. They're not looking or listening. That's part of it too. Looking with your eyes to make sure it's okay and not telling everybody, I'm going to be all right. No, they've been talking the whole time. So you need to take your eyes and your brain and think you're not going to be all right. I could not be all right. I need to do a different thing. Can you drive me home? Can I pay you? Can we have a little arrangement? I can't be walking home in the dark even though I'm just down the street. I don't need to be going out late at night. My grandmother says the night has no eyes, which is unseen. It doesn't. We have to start using our brain after we look about anything. Even to the point of your kids having school supplies, right? You're out of supplies. Oh, I didn't know that. Did you check with them? You got enough pencils? Because you did the eye thing. You just glanced. You're assuming. And then nothing. You never got to the brain. Sometimes you don't ask again. Or you talking to a family member about their health. And it may not be in good condition. And things happen. They transition. And you go, that was awfully fast. And then you find out it may have been 6 months to a year because you haven't contacted them because you were doing the eye thing. It never got to the brain to say, I need to check. The minute you heard they were ill, you need to keep tabs. You don't have to keep tabs just on them, just strong, but I need to write down, I need to call and check. See how they're doing because, they're suffering every day while you're doing other things. Sometimes we're busy, and I know I'm busy. But I have on my personal calendar my relatives' names and what date I call them. There's one aunt, my great aunt, I call her every Thursday. And she expects me to call every Thursday. My cousin, I call him once a month. And on this day, we know what day I'm going to call. I know what time. Some of them don't care. They just want the day. Are you going to call me? Yeah. And if I can't call, I'll call right quick. Say, look, I'm doing this. I'll call you tomorrow. Are you going to be busy? I'm not looking with my eyes. I'm looking with my brain. My brain is thinking those people need somebody to talk to even if I can't get there in person. They're expecting me to talk to them, even for a few minutes, just to say, hello, what are you doing? They want to know all about what I'm doing. I could be washing a dish. Who cares? Oh, really? That must be fun. I haven't washed a dish in I don't know how long. I got a new dishwasher. They go on, they start talking. But you learn things from people that talk. I've learned to listen. I'm a listener. I'm the one that sits in the back quietly and listens. Listens to stories and people talking. My mom was a listener. My dad's the talker. But you can be like Jonathan. Nobody said that you can't. You can fly away. If you ever get the time, get the first book. and just sit and read it. Like I said, it was a sleeper. And then all of a sudden it burst out, and it's so in over like 30 languages now. It became a DVD, a movie. But I suggest at least you read the book before you go there. You don't have to read the whole series. But the series goes on, kind of talks about, it's a parallel to our world, earth, heaven, God. It's not religious at all. It's just a fun read. But look beyond your eyes. Look at people beyond your eyes. Look at your friends and family beyond your eyes. Think about what they're going through, what they may need. Also think of your needs. Stop looking with your eyes. Maybe what you're doing is not it because you're looking with your eyes. You're looking with your eyes about, how am I going to do this video? I need to do that. I don't have a script. I just start talking. Some people, they're right on cue, okay? But my eyes don't do that. My brain does not do that. I've already did that for years when I was doing in-person teaching, okay? I had that, you got to be on schedule, but with kids, you have to have a schedule. Today we're doing this, today we're doing that. And sometimes I would surprise them and do something different, and they would go, "Woo, okay." You have to have a schedule with little people. Big people, sometimes not. High school people, get them ready. You have to have a schedule. Middle school kids, get them ready for high school. Schedule. College students, stay on schedule. We're doing this, this. Off of our syllabus, it's got to be this. But life, after you get out, there's no schedule. God didn't give you a schedule. He gave you life. He wanted you to enjoy life. And he wanted you to think. Think beyond. And be happy with your life. Change if you have to. And it's no problem with you changing as long as you're doing the right change and you're doing right by people. If you're doing bad by people, you don't need to change at all. You need to go sit down in a corner and think about, what are you really doing with your life? And what are you going to tell him when you leave and you have to stand in line on that judgment day about the good that you did, but whoops, there's a little boo-boo over here, a couple little boo-boos that you thought were funny and cute. What are you going to tell him? Like I said, you're always free to change. Do that today on that part. Do that today. Maybe it's you've been listening to one person about how great this is, and it's not working for you, and don't want to say nothing about it. A lot of people don't speak up. They don't say nothing about it. They just keep doing it like, this is not working for me. I spoke up. I told you, I love Dave Ramsey to death. I like to listen to his stories, looking at TV sometime when they're calling in. But let me tell you, baby steps wasn't working for me because I already had a house. I already had retirement, with my job. Yes, I needed more, and I did work on that. But the order was not going well. Me calling an emergency plan, I changed it to abundance plan. And then things started rolling for me. My mind had to think abundance and manifestation, which a lot of people don't believe in, but God is that. He's abundance and a manifestation. It's God. And people don't want to hear, oh, here comes the religion. I'm not the most... if you were looking for a person that goes to church every week, you got the wrong bear, okay? You got the wrong person because, see, I question everything. They may say something, I go, well, don't think so, because I think all the time. And I go, that doesn't sound right, or Really? And then I worry about other people that are getting that message, and I'm going, nah, not me. So if you're looking for the religious gear on here, yes, I pray. I prayed for some of you to get out what you were going through, and you got out of it. You don't need anybody to pray but you, Jesus, and God. There's the three. You need three. And then you got me. I'm four. If you feel you don't have a connection, some of you have messaged me, you have emailed me, I have prayed, things have went the way they were supposed to go. And sometimes God goes, well, not now. Well, I got to, get them on this path. And it's slowly. We don't know how God's going to work. We're asking him in prayer to help us and to intercede. So then he steps back and he says, well, what are you doing for yourself? You need me? Okay, what do you want to do? He's got lovely questions. And then he goes to work. And some things we think that's the wrong answer, but it might be the right answer. You may find out later on, like I have many times, I go, what did you do that for? I talk to him like I'm talking to you. I don't go, oh, Holy Father. I can't do that. I figure I'm like him. So, hello. What you doing up there? How you doing? Are you drinking coffee? Because I'm having an issue. Did you go on a break? What are you doing? Vacation? Come back, God. But sometimes things that are bad, we look back. If you take them step by step, like I just told you, and Jonathan Livingston Seagull says the same thing. Sorry about my mouth going. But take it step by step, and I look back on things. And they have made me stronger. They've made my family, kids stronger. Or it wasn't the right path. When my son had passed away, I said, take me. But I had 2 kids that needed me. And God said, that's no, we're not doing that. Because I have things to do. And you don't see that if you're grieving, that you have things to do. And you may have things to do now for your future, for your kids' future. You may want to leave a legacy to make sure they have an inheritance, not just an inheritance. Maybe you're leaving your house, maybe not much, but you want to do this for legacy. Maybe you want to be like that janitor or the housekeeper who left money to a college. That's your goal. You want to do something. You want to do a foundation, nonprofit. That's your legacy that you want to do. Don't let people put you down and laugh at you and call you the outcast and you don't know what you're doing and da-da-dee-da-dee. I've listened to that for years. Okay, even my mom's friends. I'll tell you the way my mom treated her friends. It was like, if you're not on board, I forgive you, but I noticed as I was growing up, they didn't come around anymore. They didn't say anything to them. It was just like, we're busy. Okay, because they weren't in line with what was going on. You're not with me, you're against me. And I know at times it probably was a lonely road because sometimes it was just us 3 when I was growing up. The friends wouldn't come. My family was building their legacy, building something for me. Maybe all we can do is leave you a house. That'll get you started. Maybe we can savings and leave you something. And the other friends were not. They were trying to borrow money. My dad drinks beer. Come over for a beer. He used to get cases of beer. Of beer. And he had them down in the basement where it was cooler. And then they bring it up for parties and stuff. Or if he went to a family gathering, he'd take a case of beer with him so that everybody would have beer. That was his contribution. And they would just come over so they could drink free beer. And my parents got tired of it. It's like, no, you can have one and then you leave. Okay, we're done. This is not a bar. This is my house. But they were just staying around. You got friends like that? I had friends like that. I had friends that I fed, or I would go out to eat, and I was the one paying all the time because I assumed they didn't have any money. Until I finally spoke up, I said, you don't even buy me anything for my birthday. I'm not paying for you. I mean, I left one friend in the restaurant. We had ate. I went up, paid my bill. My daughter was with me, paid my bill, went out in the car, sat in the car, pulled up in the front, and hadn't paid his bill. And he came out, I explained to my daughter what was happening, and she said, okay. And he came out, got in the back seat. All of a sudden, the restaurant people came out before I could pull off. Because I thought he had paid, but I had a funny feeling we hadn't, because every time we got ready to pay, we disappear. We'd go to the bathroom. You know how it happens. I said, okay, I'm done with this session, And I explained to her what was happening. She was younger. She was, okay, do what you got to do thing, So, and he got in the car. They came and got him. And I said, well, you better call your girlfriend, because we were friends. We weren't going together or anything. And because I'd gotten tired of it. So we may be an outcast. You may be an outcast. But you don't have to follow any path that you see. You follow your own path. Like I said, Dave Ramsey, I just took pieces until I got out of it. It's good for a beginner that's starting budgeting. But there's some things like, emergency plan needs to be bigger now. Inflation's got us. $1,000 can go in 5 seconds. Think of when you're eating. You go out to eat, okay? Fast food. You probably spend like $30, $40 if you're not careful, and you still don't have enough food. Don't think with your eyes during this time. Never. Think with your brain. Take care of yourself. Count your money. Save your money. Live below your means. That's all you got to do. Like, I can't spend that right now. You don't have to sit there and give up on the things that you love. You just got to use your brain and not your eyes to figure it out. It's up to you to figure it out. You got to listen to different things and God, and even the sound of my voice sometimes, that something's going to hit you and you go, okay, I got an idea. I got it. You got ideas. You just got to find them. Have a lovely day, morning, night, evening, or a sleepy time. Maybe it's a nap for you, right? But take care of yourself. You are number one in your own life. You're going to be number one. You're not a quitter. Quitters don't make it. Take care. Bye-bye.